Hello. We have now made it to video 3. Today we're going to talk about the journey for your refocused mind. One of my favorite topics, one that we could probably talk forever on, but I'm trying to keep these videos to about 15 minutes or so, give or take, to give you some great sound bites, some quick wins, and some more understanding of the You Transformed Journey Guide booklet. So before I begin on the journey for your refocused mind, I want to just do a recap on what our last video was about, and that was the journey for your re-nourished body. I had asked you to look at where you are operating and how you are operating with clear boundaries, and if you are. And I was asking you to look at various areas in your life where you may find that there were some energy drains, where you may be trying to do more than you should or could or should be doing with other people in your life, and where you need to look at how do I empower these people rather than have them depend on me all the time for things to actually, in essence, make them happy. So I hope you had some really great ahas and some breakthroughs and some moments of clarity, and that you are seeing some real momentum on your self-discovery journey. I had truly enjoyed bringing these videos to you. There is so much more that that I could be offering in these videos, but again, I really want to break them down in small bite-sized ways. So let's go into the next journey. The next journey is the journey for your refocused mind, and that's on page 16. That starts on page 16. I'm still trying to get the hang of the cameras. My personal journey with the refocused mind has been an accumulation of probably 20 years. I'll never forget the day. My teacher still we joke about it, my spiritual, holistic teacher. But I'll never forget the day I was introduced to a type of guided meditation. I was laying on the floor with a bunch of strangers, and somebody was telling me to breathe and to do this, and you're going to see this lovely light and all of these things. And all I could feel in my body is my heart pumping, my mind racing, the sweat coming off of my palms. I mean, I was literally a mess, and here I was supposed to be meditating. We laugh about that these days because I love to meditate. As a matter of fact, in essence, a day really does not go by where I am not in some sort of meditation. And the key is some sort of meditation. I equate meditation to exercise. And what I mean by that is you won't hear me say, I'm going to go exercise. It's not a word I use. You might hear me say, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do some yoga stretches. I'm going to do some dancing. But I'm not going to exercise. And so why do I say it that way? Because exercise doesn't resonate with me. Movement does. Walking does. Movement equates to what exercise would be for everybody else. When I say to someone, hey, do you want to learn how to meditate? Or do you meditate? It's like you get that deer in the headlights look. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I do know how to meditate. I don't know if I'm meditating correctly. I can't quiet the mind. And I'm like, oh, do I know all about that? So by the end of this video, I'm going to share with you some different ideas of how to change your perspective on what meditation really is for you. Because the bottom line is, it's about quieting the mind and being able to focus more and more and more. And so if you can't sit there and listen to a guided meditation, or you can't om your way to peace, there's nothing wrong with you. It just means that's not the way for you. And I have created so many different ways for a person to get to the type of practice that they need to quiet the monkey mind, still the body, and be able to receive not only the information from their intuition and their inner self, but to feel such peace in the present moment. So that is my story of where I was years ago and where I am now. And so I want to jump right into the journey for your refocused mind. Busy thoughts, mental chatter, right? Busy thoughts, mental chatter, things coming at you a mile a minute. I love it because they say, let's quiet the monkey mind. And recently I just heard the way to quiet the monkey mind is to quit feeding the monkey mind. And so what does that mean? Well, let's look at busy thoughts. Busy thoughts mean that you are not being present. Let's break that down even more. You're thinking about something that happened yesterday. You may be worrying about something that may happen in the future. We all are very guilty of this. I don't want to use that word guilty. We'll nix that. But we all have the tendency to do that. I feel like I want to say it's the American way. It's society. It's what we've been ingrained with. Busy thoughts, mental chatter, because we don't slow down. Remember how we were talking about the rebalanced life, that everything is coming at us all at once, and that it gets very difficult for us to balance our life? That's the same with the mental chatter, the busy thoughts. Contemplation. Now that's a word I want you to contemplate on. It's one of my absolute favorite words. That's how my meditation started. I didn't use the word meditation. I wasn't comfortable with meditation. It wasn't until years later where I started looking into different types of meditation, meaning more like Buddhist meditation or walking meditation. But contemplation, there was a word, not only was I able to resonate with, but I was doing it. We contemplate when we focus on something, looking for that answer. But the key is to only focus on that, looking for the answer. That is a form of meditation. If you are looking for an answer to a problem, then you sit there with it and you contemplate it. If something else comes into your mind, such as, well, what am I going to make for dinner? Then you simply say, that's not important right now, and you push it away. There are several different images that you can use this with. You can use it as I'll give you 3 actually, and you can determine which one is your favorite. When I first started doing this with people a long time ago, I used to tell them, think of a garbage pail, and think of that thought, even that image, going into the garbage pail, right? Until you were ready for it, so you could recycle it. The other image is clouds just floating by. There's the word, there's the image. I've got to start dinner. Okay, I know I've got to start dinner. And when I am ready to start dinner, I will start dinner. That's the key. If you are contemplating, looking for an answer, trying to do something, focusing on something that is going to bring you some kind of happiness or some kind of solution, then you can stay present with that and push these other thoughts away. The third imagery I'm going to show you is it's like a balloon where once again you see that image, you hear that word, whatever it is, and it goes up into the sky. What this does is it's programming your mind to say, that's important, I'm not forgetting about it, because that's what we do. We kind of like file everything away, and the reason why a lot of those thoughts come through is we're almost afraid we're going to forget it. Like we're just a computer. And yet if we file it away, it can come back. But in the meantime, you're focusing on what it is in the moment, right then and there, that you are doing. That's the difference between meditation and contemplation. If you're not comfortable with meditation, then just use the idea and the concept of contemplation. I'm going to pull something out of the book. And this is on page 19 where it says being mindful in the moment. Being mindful is about being aware of the awareness. It's an exercise that you can use to keep you present in the here and now. I have used this and I have seen incredible results. What is currently keeping you from being in the present right now? You answer that question. You can answer that in your book, or you can answer it in your mind. Do you currently have any control over the situation at hand? Yes or no? 9 times out of 10, we have no control over the situation. We only have control over our feelings and our response to it. If it is yes, then what can you do? What can you do if you currently have control over the situation? You're going to feel a lot better. There's your solution, right? So being mindful in the moment is contemplating on these questions. If no, then you let it go. You write out that situation that you have no control over on a piece of paper and you throw it away. This is an exercise and a tool that will consistently keep you present because you will know whether or not you can solve this problem, control this situation, or not. And, the key word with many of these exercises in here is to practice. These are really what I call self-care, holistic practices. When I wake up in the morning, I have a specific routine. As you continue on this path, and you'll start to get the downloads from the website of the various tools and the various charts and stuff, you will also come up with a routine. And that routine creates a more focused mind. Why? Because there's structure. Because there's a foundation. Because you've plugged into something that works for you. So let's look at the word focus. Let's look at what that means in regards to the monkey mind. Part of having a focus is having a vision for what you want to have happen. We call it intention. We call it setting the stage. We call it structure. But the bottom line is, if you can develop some kind of ritual or routine that allows you to somewhat see how things are going to play out, then you will notice that you will be more focused on how you are responding in that moment. And less of that mental chatter and less of the busy thoughts will come through. Because a lot of times those busy thoughts and mental chatter, they come from anxiousness. They come from worry. Why? Anxiousness is always about how is the future going to look. Worry is based on how it has before. So that's where we have such difficulty having that refocused mind. And so the journey for the refocused mind is truly the essence of the journey to you, and for you, because where the mind goes, the body follows. Where the mind goes, the energy follows. So I wanted to bring this up because visioning, creating an intention for the day, it's not about this is exactly how it has to go. It's how do you want to feel? What is it that you need to do to get you from point A to point B to point C to feel the way you want to feel? And there's some fantastic exercises. This is one of the longest chapters, the longest journey, because the journey for your refocused mind is a lifelong journey. It really is. But one of the things that I absolutely love, and I'm going to kind of end with this and sort of wrap it up, is, I'm wondering if I got this. It is in the present that your real power lies. It is in the present that your real power lies. There's a lot going on with that, but I want you to think about that. Think about the many times in your life where you have been present with something, creating something, talking to someone that you love to share a message, being very present with cooking, or being present even watching TV. When you are present, something inside of you just explodes. And it's another sort of way of honing in on what makes you you. Every time you are present, you are directly connected to the authenticity of who you are. And it's one more nail in that board, one more peg in that board that shows you this is who you are, this is what you do, this is what you know. So when you are going back and having to file something in your mind, you're going to remember that moment when you were present, and that's what's going to come through. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I want to spend maybe one more minute here or so, but I think that some of these diseases of the mind, as far as like maybe some Alzheimer's and some elderly type of diseases or mind or forgetfulness, I think a lot of that comes from not being present. Because if you're present, you'll remember what you did yesterday. If you were present and you were plugged in, you will totally remember what it is that made you happy. You don't have to know exactly that time, but it creates more richness in the memory bank. So I want to leave you with this. I want you to think of, and again, I'm using the word meditate, but I want you to think of, answer me this question. How often do you meditate? How often do you contemplate? How often do you sit in silence? Either one of those or all of those. And then let me know if you feel comfortable with that practice. Do you practice it enough to feel comfortable? Okay? If there are any questions on this particular section, because there's some really juicy stuff, there's a lot going on in here, please, as always, and with other videos and other posts, please comment below, send me a message. You can catch me at reneeguidelli@frontiernet.net, because I really want to make sure that I'm answering your questions. I want to be able to deliver that information for you in a way where you can keep working through the journey and you can start to see all the pieces come together. Because that's the thing, is at the end of this book, there is a way to create a blueprint and a type of practice for you and only you. And so if that's something that you want to know more about, I'd love to give you some information on that as well. Okay, until next time, happy trails for the refocused mind, for this self-discovery journey that you are taking. I am so, so happy that you are here with me. And the fourth video will be on the journey for your reignited spirit. Because once we can focus that mind, our spirit is ready, raring to go. Okay, have a great afternoon and a wonderful journey.